Hello, hello, hello. Anybody there? Anybody there? What's going on, everybody? All right, we're gonna get into this and have a little discussion here about what's going on. What's going on? All right. So you can see by the title, I still, I haven't changed my mind. I still support ICE. It is what it is, and a lot of people don't like it, but there's not much I can do about that because I like to follow the law. Ever since I can remember being a kid, oops, ever since I was a kid, I was always told to follow the law. Don't do the wrong thing. But today, in today's world, they're actually advocating for people to do just the opposite. Do just the opposite. Let's see. I know you still. And it's really something. All right, I'm letting a couple people get on here. You know, there's this whole intimidation thing trying to get people to not support ICE. I mean, that's what it's all about here. They're really trying to get people and like, how dare you? I saw this video with Chris Como. And Chris Como, he was talking about where Scott Jennings was on the panel on CNN, and Scott Jennings was using the term illegal. And he's talking about illegal. Using the term, which is on the law books. And there's this other guy on there saying, you can no longer say that. You can no longer say that. Well, the problem with that is you have criminal activity that is illegal. You understand that, right? And this, so if they can control you in believing that you shouldn't be able to say certain words, then they can control you with anything. And that's the objective of the left right now. Their objective right now is to get people to not say anything unless they say you can say it. That's the objective that we're seeing right now. So Chris Como, he's on there saying that, yeah, you're not supposed to say it. Everyone agrees to saying undocumented. Okay, no, I mean, no, who agreed to that? I mean, it is what it is. See, the problem is that a lot of these leftist liberals, they like to think that if you're going to come to America, you are welcome. See, that's what they leave out. They leave out the part where we all say that, hey, you're welcome. Just come through the front door. I mean, why is that so difficult for people to understand? Come through the front door. But like Chris Como, like I was saying, he's saying you can't say the word illegal any longer. So when it comes to criminal activity, doing wrong things, Chris Como and people like him are going to straight up say that you can no longer say this criminal activity is illegal. I mean, that's essentially what he's getting at. You can't say it any longer. You can't talk about this criminal activity. Or you can't call that criminal activity illegal. Like you can't go and, take that vehicle because, you can't say it's illegal to take that vehicle. You just can say you have to, they want you to chalk it up to make it something else like, oh, it's just, circumstances. This is where we're headed. 100%. We're headed this way. So I don't have any issues telling people that I support ICE. I know members. My buddy Ben Berquam, he's traveling with them right now. He's constantly traveling with them. And I talk to him on a day-to-day basis. Straight up, I talk to him all the time. And he's out there with them. So why, the thing I'm really curious about is how people, or why you would be upset about someone supporting the law. Now, Is everybody perfect? No, absolutely not. They're not. No one's perfect. But we have to admit, what we're seeing happening right now in our country is by design. What happened with that young female, Renee Good, when she was in her vehicle, and you can clearly see she was smashing on the gas. Well, a lot of people are telling themselves otherwise. Like, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. They want an investigation. Like, they want an investigation to try to twist it and try to change up what we all actually saw took place. That's the objective here. But the criminal activity in this country, the left is supporting it 100%. Have y'all noticed that? The left is actually supporting the criminal activity that we're seeing happening in our country. I've said it for years that the Democrat Party, they support every single criminal that you can think of. Actual criminals. Not criminals that they want to make up and just say this person is a criminal just because they supposedly had votes in a jury pool. Not someone that they just call a criminal just because they can't stand the person. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual criminals, people who have actually committed crimes. The Democrat Party is actually advocating for them. So I did this on Sunday. I was at one of these anti-ICE rallies, and I went out there, and I'm actually had a conversation with two young ladies out there that actually had a conversation with me. Any other time, the other people that are out there, they can't have a conversation. They don't know how to have a conversation. So I'm out there having a conversation with this one young lady, and we got to talking about this is a spiritual war. I've actually uploaded that video on various platforms. And we got to talking about this is a spiritual battle that we're going through. People's minds have been completely flipped upside down, completely twisted, because these people are actually advocating supporting criminals. Let me give you an example. There's these Democrat politicians that are showing up at these detention facilities, these ICE detention facilities. They're showing up and they're calling these people that are in the country illegally, calling them their constituents. Well, the last time I looked, your constituents, if you're a politician, your constituent voted for you. I'm not sure how they're talking about these illegals and they're referring to the illegals as their constituents. New one for me. But anyways, they're showing up at these detention facilities, advocating and fighting for those people that broke the law. Not a single time have I ever seen them doing a social media video, getting on the floor, talking about the people that are Americans in the prison systems here in America. Remember the 1994 crime bill? It was just the opposite for them. They were happy to put a lot of Americans behind bars. They were happy to do it, almost like a business for them. But when it comes to this situation, it's completely different. They're actually showing up and advocating for these people that have broken the law. What is that? What does that say about the mindset of the blue Democrat, the blue heart Democrat? What does that say about them? Think about that. What does that say? I talked about it last night with Don Sourpuss Lemon. Don Lemon goes into a church. And now today, I knew it. I called it last night. And now today, they're actually saying that it is okay for activists to go inside of a church and protest, to disrupt. They're saying it's okay. They're doing this because it's a Christian church. See, all of this is tied together. All this is connected. They're using the opportunity to go into a Christian church because they want, if it's up to the Democrats, they will shut down every single Christian church in the country, if not the world. I mean, really, if it was up to the Democrat, they would, because the Democrats, they've actually said that, Christianity is a problem for them. They believe Christianity should be removed. They say Christianity should not even exist because Christianity to them in their minds is the problem. But Christianity, what this nation is based on, is the part of the reason why this is one of the greatest nations, if not the greatest nation in the history of this world. Every single country got people wanting to come to this country. Every single country wanting to come to America. And you got these idiot blue heart democrats complaining about the greatest nation that they live in. And I don't understand why you still hanging out. Why are you still here? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can go on and get you a red eye to, some, third world country. Hey, I hear they got some openings in Venezuela. I mean, I hear they got some openings. Hey, I'm just saying that's what the rumor is. You can go to Venezuela, or better yet, by all means, go to Cuba. Oh, you know what? You know what's even a better option? Go to Iran. I would love for every single one of you blue heart democrats to get a red eye to Iran. One-way ticket, mind you. One-way ticket. And I encourage all of you blue heart democrats to go there with your ideology and tell them that they need to conform to your ideology. I'd like to see you do it. You notice the blue heart democrats not going to do that. Just like the blue heart democrats don't go into another worshiping center other than a Christian one. It's the same thing with the bakery. You remember the bakery? When a group of people went to a bakery and wanted them to make a cake that went completely against their beliefs and their religion, said, no, you got to do this. You're going to be forced to do this sinful cake and make it just as sinful as possible. And the owner said, I will make you the cake, and whatever you want to put on top of it, you can go put on top of it. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to change the way I paint my brush, the way I design a cake. I'm not going to change that. Now, we have cakes in the box if you want to get that, but this is going out the scope. But the blue heart democrats have it in their mind that they got to force the bakery to make a sinful, disgusting cake. But you notice, like I said, they don't ever go over to these other bakeries. They don't ever do that because it's Christianity. Christianity is the one they're going after. It's the same reason why Don Lemon went into the church, him and the other activists. And now he's trying to act like he's trying to get back out of it. Like, oh my goodness, I'm the victim in all of this. I'm the victim. I'm the typical blue heart democrat. Does something and then becomes the victim. You can't even make it up. I mean, you really can't. You really can't. So as of today, January 21st, 2026, I still support ICE. And again, I'm not saying that they do everything perfect because they're human beings. But they wouldn't have to do this if the local law enforcement would go ahead and hand over the criminals. But they refuse to do that. They're not handing over the criminals because, once again, the Democrats, they rather protect and defend the criminals out in the streets of America instead of handing them over to ICE, handing them over to the appropriate authorities. They rather fight for them. They rather advocate for them, which is actually pretty sad. But nonetheless, it's still happening. And they want us to believe that it's not happening when we see it happening with our very eyes. And then they try to make a comparison to 1930s, 1940s Germany. Give me a break. Give me a break. ICE is actually going after people who violated the law. That's what this is about. And then I like this one. Oh, keep it up. Keep it up. You're next. You're next. I'm like, why am I next? I mean, if you know ICE, so I've been seeing, there's been some posts here where I live and they say ICE is in the vicinity. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? ICE is in the vicinity. Okay. More ICE, please. I remember when I was younger and there was a time I was hanging out in the hood. And while I'm hanging out in the hood, it is probably maybe, I never forget it. This one particular day we're out in the hood and there was probably maybe 25, 30 people just hanging out on this one particular corner in the hood, right? We're all sitting on this, hanging out on this corner. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm sitting there. And it's at the time, during the time I was heavily into doing music. And while I was doing music, some of the guys I was working with, they hung out in the hood, and one guy lived in the hood. I didn't think nothing of it, because I wasn't doing anything wrong. Well, I remember one time sitting there in the hood on the corner, and I'll never forget it. It was a beautiful day, actually. The sun was shining. It wasn't even hot. It wasn't humid. It was really a really nice day. So we're just sitting out there hanging out. The next thing I know, from what I remember, 4 to maybe even 7 vehicles all came up on that corner immediately. I mean, like they just bam, really quick. And then boom. And next thing I know, these police officers start running out of the vehicles. These are unmarked vehicles. You couldn't even tell. The windows are blacked out, nothing. And they jump out of the vehicle, and like I said, there was about 25, 30 of us just sitting around hanging out. I knew some of them I didn't know, some of them I had never even seen before. This all hanging out on the corner. The cops jumped out of the car. These are undercover cops. Jumped out of the car. About half the people that was sitting on the corner started running. Just started running. I mean, just booking it. Boom, boom. It was total chaos. I had never seen. It was like how they watching in the movies. It's a boom. It's just total chaos. Well, I just stood there. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just stood there. And I'll never forget it. One of the police officers came up to me and he said, "Why didn't you run?" I said, "For what?" I said, "I'm not doing anything wrong." And he just looked at me. I said, I'm not doing anything wrong. That the point in that, it's the same thing when ICE shows up. What's happening is that ICE shows up, and these people, if they're not doing anything wrong, if they're American citizens, they get the running. If you're an American citizen, if you haven't done anything wrong, why are you going to run? It's a no-brainer here. But for some reason, they can't wrap their mind around it, and they start running, and they go, "Oh, he's an American citizen. He's an American citizen. He's an American citizen." Why are you running then? I've been pulled over. I've had situations with cops so many times, and I didn't run. Why would I run if I'm not doing anything wrong? That's a concept. A concept that the blue heart Democrats cannot even comprehend what I'm saying. Now, the people that have 2 active brain cells right now, you completely understand what I'm saying. You got 2 active brain cells. You completely understand what I'm saying. Cops show up. You don't run. You're not doing anything wrong. But the blue heart Democrats, they can't wrap their mind around it. They're still confused. They heard everything I just said, but it didn't register. Just like this, President Trump, when he was doing his speech, he was actually, it was like, I think they said it was about an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours. And this was yesterday when President Trump, doing the press conference, with Caroline Leavitt, brilliant young lady, highly intelligent. But anyways, President Trump is doing a press conference, and he's showing the criminals that have committed criminal crimes, and he got spreadsheets on them, right? Or he got these flyers with these criminals and showing what the criminal's done, this criminal and that criminal. People with at least 2 active brain cells completely understood what President Trump was saying. He wasn't trying to rush it. He wasn't trying to push it through. President Trump was explaining the stuff that he's done that's been positive, and you can just tell the blue heart Democrat liberal media, they were just, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Like they were forced to listen to him, and they like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. And he talked the entire time talking about all the positive things that he has done, because of course the liberal media, they never ever want to talk about anything positive that President Trump has done. Nothing. He did it yesterday though in the press conference. He straight up did it. The following day, you have The View with Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and the other ones on there. They're going, I couldn't understand a single thing that he was saying. We need to call for the 25th Amendment. I can't understand a single thing. That just proves my point. If you got two, I mean, just two, if you got two active brain cells, you understood everything President Trump was saying. If you don't have two active, you might have one and one dormant over on the side. You didn't understand anything he was saying, because, and it mainly comes down to that the Blue Heart Democrats, they don't want to hear anything that is truthful. The Blue Heart Democrats have just 100% accept all of the lies. They've accepted all the nonsense that they've been told. Nothing else matters to them. Nothing else matters to them. The truth is irrelevant to the Blue Heart Democrats. 100%. And people know what I'm, and even these Blue Heart Democrats, they know that I'm telling the truth. They just don't want to hear it. They just don't want to hear it. Marilyn, thank you so much for the rose on TikTok. Thank you so much for the rose. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the follow, Jennifer. Thank you so much. And wow, thank you so much for those hearts. How many hearts we have? Wow, 5,000 K, 5,000 hearts. Wow, thank you so much on TikTok. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much. I see you there on Instagram. Say hello to everybody on Instagram. Hello to everybody on Facebook. Hello to everybody on YouTube and Rumble and even on X. Hello, hello, hello. You know, one of the things I don't understand, and even on pill.net, hello, hello, hello. These Blue Heart Democrats, they, it's like they love the keyboard. They love the keyboard. They love the keyboard. Because they can do this. They type something in really bad. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show him, and then they delete it. Sometimes they'll hit enter, but for the most part, they do that. Then they delete it. They love the keyboard. Because I've constantly asked people, say, why don't you come and join me? Come on, live. I'll send you a Zoom link. I've said this multiple times. I'll send you a Zoom link. Come join me. June, thank you so much for the rose on TikTok. Thank you so much for the rose on TikTok. You know what? Let me do this. I keep forgetting. I can when you send me the gifts, because they don't like to see when you send me the gifts, but I really do appreciate it, and I can give you beautiful balloons when you send me the gifts. So that one's for Marilyn for the roses on TikTok, and then this one's for June for the rose on TikTok. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So when people send me a wonderful gift that the left hates to see, and I can see them on TikTok. Oh my goodness. The echo chamber on TikTok. As soon as I go in there and say, there's only two genders, it's like echo. They get really worked up. They get really worked up about it all. Really worked up about it all. But anyways, I digress. There's nothing wrong with supporting ICE. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong. And then these agitators out here disrupting and following ICE, they're not looking for a good day. They're not looking for a good day at all. It's not going to end up being a good day. And if y'all could see some of the comments on TikTok, wow. And the thing is, they say all of these colorful things about me and to me, and they just don't realize it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me at all. They're more affected by me telling the truth, or they wouldn't be saying the colorful things that they're saying. And it's not just on TikTok. It happens everywhere, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube. Not so much on Peel.net, though. Not so much on Peel.net. But it does happen. It does happen every blue moon. Every blue moon. But I'm going to continue telling the truth. I'm not going to stop telling the truth. Actually, y'all want me to... So for those of you who didn't see the video, maybe I'll share some of it with you really quick. This is a video that I did when I was out. Is it going to work for me? It's not going to work for me. Oh, yeah, there it is. So this is a video that I did when I was out on, I went to an anti-American, anti-ICE, you know, the whole No Kings, the No Kings event. That's pretty much straight up a anti-American event. You do realize that, right? None of those people respect the country. None of them respect the country. So I want y'all to listen to this. So this is me having a conversation with this young lady, and it was a pleasant conversation. This is all I'm asking, but most blue heart Democrats are not capable of having a conversation. Check this out.
It's my complexion.
There's something white in you. And I don't have all my friends are white, period. I cannot find a black person.
But what does that matter? The only thing that matters is our Lord Jesus Christ that created all colors. And all colors are great under his eyes. It's only man that elevates one color over another. It's only man that worships one color over another. It's only man that says this color is doing this to me. And color has nothing to do with it. When you woke up this morning, did you feel like this color?
I was still black.
Did you feel black? Did you feel black?
How is that a feeling, though? How is that a feeling?
You felt like Joy, right?
Joyce Lynn.
Joyce, you felt like Joyce Lynn.
Sorry, I felt happy.
You felt like Joyce Lynn, right?
Joyce Lynn.
You felt like Joyce Lynn.
Did you feel like Will when you woke up?
I woke up feeling like Will. I didn't wake up feeling like a color. Johnson.
Will Johnson. Oh, Johnson.
I didn't wake up feeling like a color. I didn't wake up feeling that I need to fight for a color.
Okay.
This is a spiritual battle that we're in.
No.
What do you mean no?
Those that are not spiritual. What about those? Are they evil? Are they
demonic? You mean to tell me that these fleshly bodies walking around don't have spirits in them? Are you literally telling me that?
No.
Everything is surrounded by the spiritual.
Okay.
Everything. These are earthly. You know, have you heard of spacesuits? Have you heard of swimsuits? This is your earth suit. At one point, we all have to leave it. We have to get up out of it. Unless you believe that there's nothingness. But I don't believe that. I know that all this creation, we are in a spiritual battle. Satan is planting the seeds in these people to get these people to believe that these wrongful things that they're doing, they've been turned over to a reprobate mind, a deprived mind. These people are actually out here advocating and fighting for a man putting on a dress, going into the restroom with women. Are you kidding me? This is a spiritual battle. You can't tell me they don't.
But
how do you feel about a man in the dress going in the restroom with you? Wait, hold on. I just got to know that question. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, men and women that are married, that have a home, they share the same bathroom. To me, it's the same way. I don't think the bathroom is the issue. I don't think the bathroom is the issue.
Because you're kind of deflecting. You know that, right? You're deflecting. I'm talking. Okay, let me be more specific.
No.
You're in the locker room at a gym, and a man comes in there, and he has on a dress, but at this point, he exposes himself to all the women in the locker room. Are you okay with that? Yes or no? Just start there and to give me your explanation on why it's okay. Yes or no? Is that okay? Because that is happening consistently.
I have to say, I'm okay with that because...
Oh, wow.
Because that man that goes into the... He's not going to molest anybody.
How do you know?
We don't.
Why do you
know they're not?
Why do you put yourself in that position?
Why would you put yourself in that position? Why would you do it? And actually, I sat there and I talked to her for maybe another 20 minutes. We were having a conversation going. I wasn't yelling at her. She wasn't yelling at me. And then she started getting to the point to where she was like, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And you know what it is? These blue heart Democrats, the main reason why they don't want to talk is because the demon that resides in them it has convinced them not to talk because they might end up changing their wicked ways. That's what it comes down to. Straight up, that's what it comes down to. Wow, Linda, thank you so much for the heart. Is that a heart? I can't tell what that is. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it on TikTok. Thank you so much. All right. And Ann, thank you so much. I see you, Ann. Thank you so much. And there's the balloons there for Linda. Well, thank you so much for the heart, Linda. And then, wow, look at that, Teresa. Thank you so much. There's some balloons for you. And then there's some balloons coming to you, Ann, on Facebook for the Facebook stars. Right there. There's some for you. I like those balloons. I think they're pretty cool. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So I think the biggest thing right now is what's going to end up happening in the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, this time next month. What is it going to look like? Are things starting to calm down in Minneapolis? Are things starting to calm down? If they are, I'm pretty sure the Blue Heart Democrats, they're going to do something to kick it back up because they don't want it to calm down. They like that type of stuff. They like it. They like it a lot. Wow, thank you so much. You're awesome too, Teresa. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Right, on TikTok, they're about to help me reach my goal again. Halfway there on my goal on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'm just making sure I look around because I don't want to miss it because people bless me. I want to say thank you when they do. And I have to look everywhere, check all of them. So other than that, if you don't want to use the social media, you can go to my website, which you can see right here. You can see it right here. Go to my website and you can support me right here. I would greatly appreciate it. Can y'all imagine what it's like for the kind of information or the kind of content that I receive or the kind of the feedback that I receive? Can y'all imagine what that's like? I mean, I get a lot of it. And one person told me that it takes a special type of person to be able to, talk to these Blue Heart Democrats the way that I do and have conversation with people, because the Blue Heart Democrats, they don't have the, what am I looking for? I want to say patience, but it's not even patience. They don't have the, wow, thank you so much for helping me reach my goal on TikTok. Thank you so much. God bless you. They don't have the, you know what it is? They don't have the confidence in what they believe in. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. They don't have the confidence in what they believe in. That's why they get so angry. I don't get angry because you don't believe the same way I do. Why am I going to get angry about that? But Blue Heart Democrats, they're not happy. They're not happy people. Like, look at you. I can't even tell you how the colorful messages that I receive from these people. I used to take screenshots of all of them. And every now and then I'll take some screenshots. But I used to take screenshots of all of them. And I thought about showing them. But I really can't show what they say. Even though they say it publicly, I can't show it because then they end up penalizing me for sharing what Blue Heart Democrats have said about me. Make that make sense. And the Blue Heart Democrats, they're completely, oh yeah, penalize Will Johnson. They say it, but then they penalize me because of what they said. That's the world we live in. It's so twisted. But you can see the fellas behind me. Y'all see the fellas behind me? I support those guys right there. I support those guys. It looked like those are all guys, and there's probably look like this might be a female right here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And then they get upset because they're wearing masks. Is there anybody watching right now that doesn't understand why they have to wear a mask? Is there any reason? Because they keep talking about it. Even the Blue Heart Democrats on Capitol Hill, they're wearing masks. They're wearing masks. I remember at one point they were all trying to force us to wear masks, but now they don't want them to wear a mask. What a bunch of hypocrites you are. What a bunch of hypocrites you are. KK on TikTok said the very reason why they have to wear masks. Thank you so much. See, somebody with 2 active brain cells, at least, right, knows exactly why they have to wear masks. All the other people that's complaining about them wearing masks don't have 2 active brain cells. I'm just saying, it is what it is. You can't make it up. Can't make it up. It is what it is. But one thing that I've learned is that I am really happy that I am the way that I am. I am. I like who I am. I'm happy that my eyes are opened. I'm happy that I see the truth. I'm happy that I'm not a mean person. I'm happy that I'm not an angry person. I'm not angry at all. Why would I be angry? I have no reason to be angry. No reason to be angry. Put it like this. I went out, and someone actually said it in the TikTok feed. Someone said it in the TikTok feed. And they say it every now and then on Facebook and other places, but on TikTok, they're really big about saying it because it's kind of like an echo chamber for Democrats. And then here comes Will Johnson telling the truth. These Blue Heart Democrats lose it. But I was at one of these anti-American, anti-ICE events, and this dude was in one of these balloon blow-up dinosaur things. And he ended up calling me the house N-word. Multiple times calling me to me. And it was a white guy. And I'm sitting there listening to him, but it didn't get me upset. You know why it didn't get me upset? Because I know who I am. Just because the Blue Heart Democrats feel something in their minds or feel something in their feelings and they want to lash out and say it and call me these names, it doesn't affect me because I know who I am. I don't allow words from people with less than 2 active brain cells to affect me. Now, of course, there's people that's in my immediate surrounding, people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis, family members, et cetera, et cetera. They can say stuff that will bother me. But these Blue Heart Democrats, but it will take a lot, even for people in my immediate circle. It would take a lot for it to bother me. But these Blue Heart Democrats, they don't ever bother me. Other than you don't want to see the truth. That's the part that's kind of disturbing. You don't want to see the truth. And the very reason why you don't want to see the truth is just mind-blowing to me. It really is. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. Because you can show Democrats the truth. You can tell them the truth, and they still go along with the lie because they like the way the lie feels. You understand that? They like the way the lie feels. For them, the lie is everything. They don't care about anything else. It's all about the lies for them. They believe the lies about President Trump constantly. Oh, he's racist. He's that. He's this. I've been to the White House twice. When President Trump was in office his first term, I was in the White House twice. And President Trump didn't go in front of the TV, in front of the media and say, oh, look, I got all these black people here with me. I got a black person here with me. He never does that. And then when President Trump did have a whole bunch of black people in there and the media had an opportunity to show it, they didn't want to show it because they don't want you to see it. They like the fact that you constantly, blue heart Democrats, they like the fact that you constantly believe the lies that they put out there. They like that you believe the lies. So why would they stop? Why would they stop pushing out the propaganda when you're going to believe it? I mean, it doesn't take much to get the blue heart Democrats to believe this nonsense. So why stop doing it? Actually, apparently it's profitable because you continue to believe it. And I like to challenge all of you. They're sitting there telling me, saying that I'm not telling the truth. I like to challenge all of you. Prove me wrong. Not with your feelings. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. No? You can't do it? No, of course not. Of course not. Teresa on Facebook says, thanks, Will, for your calm spirit when you talk to these Democrats. I said Democrats. She said Democrats. Well, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. You know, a lot of people say, how do you have the conversation with these people when they're yelling at you? Did y'all see the one where they had the whistles and they're blowing the whistles? Just blowing the whistles. And they were surrounding me and they're just blowing their whistles. And I'm just talking, it's just because they're not able. Since they can't have a conversation, they just blow their whistles. If any of you would like to join me and have this open discussion, we can talk about all of this. I would like to talk to you about it. If you disagree with me, by all means, reach out. You know how to do DM. I look at my DMs on TikTok. I look at them on Facebook every now and then. I look on X, in the various places. I look at them. I don't see them all the time. One person says, let me call in. Maybe on, what's today, Wednesday? Maybe on Friday, I'll open up the phone line. Maybe I'll open up the phone line. It's just the reason why I haven't done it because I have to be careful. Because the blue heart Democrats, they like to shut down free speech. And they like to call people fascists, but yet they like to shut down free speech. They like to call, President Trump and Republicans, MAGA Republicans, fascists, but yet they want to shut down freedom of reign. They want to shut down freedom of thought. They want to shut down freedom of expression. They want to shut down freedom of religion. This is the left want to shut all of this down if you don't agree with them. Have you ever looked up the definition of fascism? I mean, really. But it's the blue heart Democrats that's exercising it. And the most interesting thing about it all is that they don't even recognize it. They don't even recognize it. Don't even recognize it. And someone says, MAGA are losing. Really? How are we losing? I remember before November of 2024, they kept saying, Trump's not going to win. He's not winning. No one is supporting him. They all kept saying it. And then after President Trump and America won, they all kept saying, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret your vote for him. You're going to regret it. Just watch and see. I still don't regret it. When is that coming about? And they're saying, and I can see them, they're saying that you're losing, MAGA's losing. What are we losing? I mean, to my understanding, what President Trump is doing is absolutely beautiful. So, again, the blue heart Democrats, you're expressing the way you feel about something. It's your feelings about it all. Now, there's this thing, and I have to admit about something that President Trump said. And I actually have to admit that I kind of fell into the trap. Are y'all ready for this? If you haven't yet, hit the share button right now. You're about to hear Will Johnson admit to he fell into the trap. I did, slightly. I fell into the trap slightly. Hit the share button right now. Watching on TikTok right now, hit the share button. Hit the share button, because Will Johnson's about to admit that he fell into the trap somewhat, okay, about President Trump. When President Trump was running for the 2024, he said on day one, remember, because we're talking about the grocery prices and the food prices, everything that was high going through the roof when Joe Biden, Kamala Harris was in office, the prices were just going through the roof. No one was complaining about the prices being high with Joe Biden and the demon crash. They weren't complaining. They were complaining. They just didn't want to put blame on themselves and Joe Biden for everything that they've done. But President Trump said on day one, see, I was sitting there thinking that President Trump, because this is where I fell for it. President Trump, I was going along with it, that President Trump said on day one, he's going to fix it. But actually, what President Trump said is on day one, we're going to start fixing it. Because see, all of the stuff that Joe Biden and the Blue Heart Democrats did to this country didn't happen overnight. So President Trump is not going to be able to fix it overnight. And then this is what I'm talking about, where I kind of went, because I was like sitting there listening to it. I said, wait a minute, President Trump said he's going to start fixing it on day one. He didn't say he was going to fix it on day one. And the Blue Heart Democrats, all they go, he said he's going to fix it day one. He's just going to fix it. They leave out that one simple word, start. Start fixing it on day one. They conveniently leave that word out there because they manipulate people with 2 brain cells that are not active. Less than 2 brain cells, and the brain cells they have are not active. So they leave out that key word where he says he's going to start. So they leave that out, and they just say, he said he was going to fix it on day one. You can't put, like, for me, for example, I had put on some weight, and it took time. The weight took time to come on. Well, after some time working out, I started losing the weight. So it took time for it to go on, take time for it to go off. Same thing with President Trump is doing. In order for President Trump to fix what the Democrats have done to this country, it's going to take time to fix it. It's going to take time to fix it. And you know this. So now you have heard it. President Trump said he's going to start. It's not going to happen overnight. He's going to start working on it. Going to start. And that's what we all want. I voted for this. Anybody else? If you voted for this, can you type it in? I voted for this. I voted for this. You type that in for me in the comments. I'm going to type it in. I voted for this. Right there. I voted for this. I'm putting this everywhere. I voted for this. Can you put it in for me too? Can you put it in? Let me see. I voted for this. Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. See, this way you're typing it all in, and the Blue Heart Democrats see it, and you're telling them you voted for this. Is there anyone that regret their votes? I don't. I still don't. Hello, Blue Heart Democrat. Hello. Want to tell me how I feel? I'm telling you how I feel. I voted for this. I'm happy for what President Trump is doing. No issues. No issues. Again, he's not perfect. I'll admit it, he's not perfect. But who is? But just know I did vote for this. I voted for him to make sure that we have safety and security in this country. And that's what I voted for. right? It says am I echoing? Am I echoing everywhere? I think I know why I might be echoing on TikTok. Let me see if I can fix it here. Am I echoing on Rumble? Okay, how about now? Let me know on TikTok. What about on Facebook? Am I echoing on Facebook? Okay. Yeah, so it was just on TikTok. I think I know why I was echoing on TikTok. So y'all let me know on TikTok. Am I still echoing? I think I got rid of the echo. I noticed a little bit earlier when I was playing the video, so I think I just got rid of it. Still says I'm echoing? Shouldn't be. It's good now? It's good now? Okay, yeah. I figured, I know what the problem was. Thank you so much for letting me know. I do apologize for the echo on TikTok. I do apologize. I was trying something, and I should have verified that before we went on. It wasn't terrible, right? It was, but it's fixed now, right? All right, cool. Actually, I got it right here. Let me see. Huh. So it's actually pretty quick, the stream. Most of the time it's like 30 seconds before it comes through. Huh. Yeah, it is slightly there. Some people saying no echo. It's weird how that's coming through like that. I wonder why. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and troubleshoot it with everybody on the line unless y'all want me to. But I know there's a... That's weird. It shouldn't be echoing. Oh. Yeah, it shouldn't be echoing. I do apologize for it though. Okay, I'll work on it. Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, some people say there's no echo. Cool. The sound is cool. I'm not sure why it was doing it. It's almost like it's not necessarily echoing. It's almost like it's in stereo. Like it's panned really wide for left and right. It's not like echo. It's just like really wide for the sound. Kind of sounds cool, right? It does sound cool. It sounds like it's like almost like 3D sound. But it's not echoing. It's like 3D sound. So I'm not sure why it's doing that, but I'm not even sure if it was doing that last night either. But nonetheless, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube. Hey, if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up for me. Please hit the thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate if you hit the thumbs up for me on YouTube, on Facebook, hit the heart, and on Rumble, please hit the thumbs up for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And on Instagram, please share it. Same thing with on pill.net. Please share it. I see you there. Yeah. All right, everybody, I'm going to get off of here. God bless you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be safe out there. And yes, don't forget, I still support ICE. Y'all like my picture there? Y'all see how the ICE is sitting on the street? That's good, ain't it? It's good. God bless everybody. Take care. See you on the flip side.